Our speaker today is a singer, sound healer, Reiki master, and mental health advocate. Her mission in life is to use creative expression, spirituality, and her experience in the mental health sphere to help others. I'm going to share a little bit about her experience growing up, how she came into the world of healing, energy healing, and about her first time receiving an energy healing session and how it led her on the path that she is on today. So please give a warm welcome to Jackie Miller.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come up here today and just share a little bit about my journey. And I also go by the name Sacred Sound Singer. That's my business name. So since I use my sound healing instruments and also use my voice as well when I do that. So I have had a very rocky journey, and I just was thinking I wanted to share a little something from yesterday, a trip I went on. I was just talking to somebody before I got up here about how I went to visit Crystal Cave, and this just hit me all of a sudden as I was sitting here waiting to get up and talk, and I was like, So yesterday I went and they have different, installations of light throughout the cave. So, once we got to this midsection of the cave, the tour guide said, we're going to turn out all the lights in the cave right now so you can see what it looks like in its natural state. So all the lights got turned out and it was pitch black, like absolutely not even a speck of light. I couldn't see anything. And it was a little bit scary. And then he flicked on a little lantern, and then he also had a laser light and was like pointing it out the walls and showing like the illumination of the minerals and the different natural like glittering colors that are in the walls and everything. And I kind of just hit me all of a sudden. It just made me think that this kind of feels like the spiritual journey of like and the personal journey that I've been on of like you're traveling, you're not really sure where this is winding to. I don't know where this is going. I've never been here before. And I have a little bit of light here or there. Maybe somebody's helped me out along the line. And then sometimes you reach this point where it gets pitch black. And we're like, I don't know how I can move forward from here. And then something happens, and then you have that spark of light, and it's only from the darkness and that little spark of light that you see things in a different light, and it's like illuminated in a different way that you maybe wouldn't have seen before. So I just thought I would share that because I just thought there's a quote that I love by the poet Rumi, and it's like the wound is where the light gets in. And so I just thought that somehow all connected together for what I wanted to share today. So I had titled this talk From Pain to Purpose. And so I just want to share a little bit about my past and, where I've come from and what has made me want to help other people as well. And so I started out in life where my parents got divorced, and then I went through some abuse from family, and I ended up in foster care, moved around a lot. It's very tumultuous, and didn't have any kind of like awareness about anything at that time in my life. Like was just kind of indoctrinated into whatever was being told to me. It wasn't until I was graduated high school and decided like, just started learning about who am I like outside of this. And so I heard about this energy healing workshop. I had no clue what that was, but I was like, that just sounds interesting. So I went to it in my first time ever, and he started, I had come into this workshop for this energy exchange um, event where I had headache. And so I sat down in the chair, and without even touching me, he started just, like working on me. And I remember literally feeling energy started pulling from my head. And I was like, what the heck is going on? This is so cool. So that kind of was just like the first thing for me, that was like, okay, there's more going on here to me. And I remember told a family member about it, and they kind of shut me down immediately, like, what are you doing? Why are you going to something like this? Like, this is, they're very religious, and it was just kind of like not something they believed in. And so definitely had a little bit of pushback, but I felt called to keep exploring that and keep seeing what this is. And so I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to continue to go to these workshops. And that's when I also first went to my first meditation class as well. And it was in that meditation, like on a weekly basis, that I had started to see other gifts that were starting to open up that once again I was not expecting at all. And I remember very clearly when I saw the meditation teacher all of a sudden started like glowing in violet. And so that was another like moment of like awakening to this energy that we're all emitting. And it was just an amazing experience for me. And it's not something that happens all the time, but when it does happen, it's just like a beautiful experience for me. And so I had to learn how to just follow what I felt, what I was interested in, even though I wasn't necessarily being encouraged by family or people around me. And so that was the beginning part of this stage. And went through another tragedy, where my brother took his life, and it was very surprising. And that was something else that had triggered me to want to start getting back into like helping other people. And so I got very involved with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and also had struggled personally with my own mental health struggles. Spent like a short time in a mental health institution, and like just going through my own traumas and trying to work through like a lot myself. And so just for me, also having lived experience, like personally, and experiencing it from others, that was like a driving factor for me of like wanting to connect with other people that need help, or that are struggling. And the most recent thing that I have gone through was 2 years ago, when I had fallen in love with somebody. We had connected over music, and I'm a singer. He's a singer. He's a musician, songwriter. We had this beautiful connection. And I did not know how deeply he was struggling, and did not realize that he had an addiction. It was something he had kept in the darkness and the shadows. And so we had this beautiful connection that we had built with each other. And one thing led to the next, where he passed away from an overdose, which hit me very hard. And it was through that painful experience, which I honestly triggered me to want to connect with the other side, because I really so desperately just really wanted to connect with him, and feel his presence again. And so I connected with different mediums, and then I also started wanting to develop for myself, like, how can I also connect with him too? And so just doing these meditations and trying to just speak with him and connect with him, and started having like some of these moments that were happening that was like, yeah, he's really here with me. Because I as I sing, and I did a song that was a dedication to him. And So I went to an open mic event, and, you know, before I got on stage, I was like kind of just talking to him in spirit. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do this song. It's dedicated to you. And just thinking about him, get on stage, do my thing. And then I get off stage, and one person comes up to me and they said, Jackie, I just want to let you know that there's an angel that's here with you today. And I said, an angel here? Like, who are, I was like, what do you mean? I'm sorry. Like, an angel is here with me. I was just like confused. It just came out of the blue. And I didn't, and they're like, well, I just was told to tell you that. So I was like, okay, thank you. Like 10 minutes later, totally separate person comes up to me. They're like, I just wanted to tell you that I was just being guided to tell you, like, there's an angel that's here with you today. And I was like, okay, this has to mean something. Somebody, like, he's trying to get through to me to let me know that he's here with me today. I was like, you can't make this stuff up. So, and both people who said that to me, they didn't have any explanation for it, nothing whatsoever. So for me, that was like a hello, I'm here with you, and I'm here. I want to guide you on your journey to heal from this pain, because it was very painful. And so just knowing that I have this like spiritual team behind me, whether I can see it or not, has also greatly helped me. And I started to like work as like an apprentice in a mediumship group, and started wanting to develop my intuition deeper as well. And I just do it for free, where I would just tap in, and it's still a gift that I don't charge in the moment, because I feel like it's something I'm still developing. But just I really do feel that me developing that relationship with him also helped me to just learn how to like connect more with the other side too as well. And so I thought it was like a beautiful blessing in disguise in a way. And so what I do with the sound work that I do is I offer one-on-one sessions people, and then I also do a group sound baths. But when I do the one-on-one sessions, I kind of created like my own unique sort of modality where I do the Reiki, since I have been trained in Reiki, and I have 7 crystal bowls, and then I have my tuning forks, I have my drum, I have rattles, like other little things here and there. And then I will sometimes use my voice as well to channel for that person. And then sometimes I will just allow it. I don't force it, but I will just try to allow for, if there is any intuitive messages to come through for that person. And what was a really beautiful experience was I was doing a session with somebody, and all of a sudden a song started coming through. So I just started to sing it. It was just like a lullaby song, a popular lullaby song. And after I was done with the session with her, I had told her, like, I kind of felt like your mom wanted to connect, or and she told me that's the song that my mother used to sing to me as a lullaby song. So for me, like, had no idea, but it was just like a beautiful kind of experience. And for me, I just want to encourage people to use their voices more too, since I do work this way. And I've when I first started in the performing or singing world, I definitely had a lot of social anxiety around it. And I didn't even want to audition for anything. I didn't want to get on the stage. I didn't want to do nothing. But I had a friend of mine who really encouraged me. She's like, come on, just audition for this musical and this show. And I was like, I was like, literally like, no, 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 no. But I'm so glad that I did, because it ended up being like such a beautiful experience for me. And I felt like, with all the trauma that I went through with my childhood, being able to get on a stage and share my voice was a healing experience for me. In like, oh, like, there is, it's okay for me to express myself. It's okay for me to have a voice, because a lot of times when, somebody has gone through childhood trauma, there's that sense of like, you're not safe, it's not okay to like just be you or express yourself. And so it's very healing to be able to do that. And so as I kind of, have transitioned, I started out with just the theater and the singing and all that stuff. And then and then in the paths kind of merged when I, went on this like exploring the Reiki and all this other stuff and like the meditation. So the paths kind of merged for me where I was able to see how they connected. And so that's why like I just recently started offering something that's like a freebie thing for people, like a vocal discovery session of like how different exercises to open up your voice. And the one thing that I've noticed doing these sessions is that a lot of people that they have a lot of fears around it, or they have a lot of insecurities around it, or messaging from people in their life, like, will you just stop talking or shut up, or I don't want to hear you sing or whatever. And I've experienced that too, where like as a child, we're in this childlike state, we're free and we can just express. And my goal is to just help people to, one of my goals, I should say, is to help people come back into that childlike state where you come back into the part of you that before all the voices around you maybe told you who you should be or what's okay, and to start to release that and let that go. And so, and that's just, not an overnight process, but it's just beautiful to assist, like somebody else to be able to open up a little bit more than they did yesterday. So that's a little bit about me. And yeah, I had mentioned that, I am mental health advocate. As I had mentioned with my boyfriend who had passed away to an overdose, that's what led me to also where I am now, with the mental health advocacy, because I got involved with Sync Recovery Foundation, and they are for all paths of recovery to give people activities and purposeful things to do, whether it is equine therapy, whether it's hiking, kayaking, sound baths, stuff like that, to help people, to stay on that path of recovery. So I just became a volunteer with them recently. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm heading to, is wanting to just keep on, hopefully inspiring other people as well along the way, as I'm on the continual journey myself that never really ends of growing and learning, and yeah, just learning how to love myself more as well. So yeah, that's I think that's a lot of what I wanted to share today. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for, listening and to my story, or, and my journey, some things I've been through in my life.
Thank you.